Have you ever wondered why some 70 or 80-year-olds still hike mountains, dance with their grandkids, or even run 5K races, while others, the same age, struggle just to get out of a chair? Why is it that two people with the same diagnosis, arthritis, can live such radically different lives? Is it just luck, good genes, magic, or could it be something much more within your control? If you're living with arthritis, you already know this truth. It's not just the pain in your joints. It's not just the stiffness in the morning. It's the constant drain, the daily frustration of reaching for a jar, stepping out of bed, climbing stairs. Tasks you once did without thinking now feel like challenges you never asked for. And maybe, just maybe, you've been told, that's just part of aging. There's nothing more we can do. Here's a stronger pill. But what if I told you that wasn't the whole truth? What if there's something doctors often don't tell you? Not out of neglect, but because it sounds too simple, too easy to believe. What if the key to calming inflammation and reclaiming movement is already in your kitchen? Food as medicine? Not a trend, but a truth. As a physician and medical researcher for over 30 years, I've sat across from thousands of patients with arthritis, from mild osteoarthritis to debilitating rheumatoid conditions. And I can tell you this with full conviction. What you eat is one of the most powerful and most overlooked tools in the fight against joint pain. No, this isn't about going vegan overnight. It's not about following some trendy cleanse or buying overpriced supplements off late-night TV. I'm talking about simple, real, affordable foods. Ones you can find in any grocery store. That science has proven again and again can lower inflammation, can support joint repair, and can make daily movement feel a little easier, a little freer. And today, I want to show you 3 of them. Most arthritis care focuses on medication. NSAIDs, steroids, biologics, pills for inflammation, pills for pain, pills for side effects caused by other pills. And while medications do have a place, they're often not enough. Because arthritis isn't just a joint problem. It's a full-body, systemic condition. Inflammation doesn't begin and end in your knees or fingers. It begins in your immune system, your gut, your nerves, your blood vessels. And yes, even in your diet. Here's a startling fact. A recent study from Harvard Medical School found that certain foods increase inflammatory cytokines in the body, while others help turn them off. Imagine if every meal was either fueling your inflammation or fighting it, every bite. A choice. Why protein matters more than you think. Now here's something that surprises many of my patients. When we talk about anti-inflammatory diets, we usually think of turmeric, leafy greens, maybe some berries, but very few people talk about protein, especially plant-based protein. And yet, protein plays a central role in everything from muscle repair to cartilage regeneration to immune function. And here's the kicker. As we age, our ability to absorb protein efficiently declines. Our muscle mass shrinks. Our recovery slows down. Which means, the older we get, the more intentional we have to be with the quality of the protein we eat. Now, I'm not saying you need to ditch all meat overnight. But what if some of the most joint-friendly, anti-inflammatory, digestive-friendly, budget-friendly proteins aren't coming from animals at all? Let me share one more crucial insight before we dive into the top 3 plant proteins. Your gut health is directly connected to your inflammatory levels. That's not speculation. It's science. When your gut is fed a poor diet, especially one high in processed meats, refined carbs, and sugars, it produces toxic byproducts, feeds bad bacteria, and damages the gut lining. This allows inflammatory compounds to enter your bloodstream more easily, triggering pain, stiffness, fatigue, even brain fog. But when you feed your gut fiber-rich, anti-inflammatory plant-based foods, you help rebuild the microbiome. You reduce systemic inflammation. You support your immune system in healing, not attacking. In this video, I'll break down 3 powerhouse plant proteins that are backed by research, affordable and accessible, easy to cook with, and deeply therapeutic for those living with joint issues. They are lentils, rich in magnesium, folate, and protein without triggering flare-ups. Chickpeas, loaded with polyphenols, fiber, and natural inflammation fighters. Tofu, a complete protein with omega-3s, calcium, and the surprising power of isoflavones. We'll explore not just the science, but also the stories. Real people, real change. Real ways to make these foods part of your weekly routine without stress or overwhelm. I'm not here to sell you a miracle cure. I'm not promising you'll wake up pain-free tomorrow. But I can promise this. If you begin making small shifts, if you begin nourishing your body from the inside out, if you listen to what the science and your body is telling you, you will feel a difference, even if it's just 10% better this month. That's 10% more freedom, 10% more strength, 10% less fear of movement, and that's worth fighting for. So if you're tired of depending solely on pills, if you're open to trying simple, real, healing foods, if you're ready to reclaim some control over how you feel, let's dive in. In the next section, we'll start with an overlooked powerhouse, a humble legume, packed with muscle-repairing protein, joint-soothing magnesium, and a natural ability to reduce stiffness in just weeks. Get ready to meet your new best friend for arthritis relief. Lentils. If I told you that one of the most powerful weapons you have against arthritis is about the size of a pencil eraser, comes in a humble brown paper bag, and costs less than your morning coffee, would you believe me? Because that's exactly what lentils are. They don't shout for attention. They don't sit on supplement shelves with shiny promises. They don't trend on Instagram. But they work. Silently. Reliably. Deeply. Lentils are rich in plant-based protein, about 18 grams per cooked cup. But this isn't just any protein. It's a type that doesn't fuel inflammation like red meat often does. Why does that matter? Because red meat contains arachidonic acid, which can trigger inflammatory pathways in the body. It's also high in saturated fat, which, in excess, can worsen joint pain by encouraging cytokine production, those pesky molecules behind joint swelling and stiffness. Lentils, by contrast, give you the building blocks your body needs to repair muscles that support your joints, maintain cartilage structure, and help regulate immune system balance, all without triggering your inflammatory response. Now let's talk about magnesium, a mineral most of my older patients are deficient in, often without knowing it. Magnesium is like a natural muscle relaxant. It calms tightness. It reduces spasms. It supports nerve function. For people with arthritis, especially those who wake up stiff or feel like their joints need warming up, magnesium can be a game changer. In one study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, individuals with higher magnesium intake showed significantly lower levels of CRP, C-reactive protein, a major marker of inflammation. And guess what? Lentils are one of the most magnesium-rich foods you can eat. Most people associate potassium with bananas, but lentils contain more potassium than a banana per calorie. Why does that matter? Because potassium helps flush excess sodium from your body, and too much sodium traps water, causes bloating, increases blood pressure, and contributes to painful joint swelling. If you've ever felt your fingers puff up after a salty meal, that's the sodium talking. Potassium is your natural defense, and lentils deliver it in spades. Let's talk fiber, not just for digestion, but for inflammation control. You see, fiber slows down how your body processes sugar, and that's a very big deal, because sugar spikes trigger glycation end products, nasty compounds that increase inflammation and degrade collagen. Translation: the more unstable your blood sugar, the worse your joints feel. But with fiber, especially the soluble kind in lentils, you smooth out those spikes. You prevent inflammatory responses. You give your body time to absorb nutrients slowly, efficiently, and without stress. Folate, vitamin B9, doesn't get much attention, but it should. It helps lower homocysteine, an amino acid that, when elevated, has been linked to joint damage and vascular inflammation. And lentils, they're one of the richest natural sources of folate you can find. Think of folate as your silent protector, reducing joint vulnerability from the inside out. Let me tell you about Albert, a 72-year-old retired farmer from Minnesota. Years ago, arthritis crept into his hands. At first, it was just morning stiffness. Then it became hard to grip tools. Eventually, he couldn't hold his coffee mug without pain. He tried medication after medication. Some helped, most didn't. His daughter, a nurse, encouraged him to change just one thing: add lentils to his meals 3 times a week. Soup, salad, stew. 3 months later, Albert returned to the clinic. His grip strength had improved. He could turn doorknobs again. He even built a birdhouse, without pain. He said something I'll never forget. "I didn't believe food could fix joints. But these little beans, they proved me wrong. Here's the good news. Lentils are ridiculously easy to cook. No overnight soaking, no complicated prep. Just rinse, simmer, season." Here are a few of my go-to lentil ideas for joint support. 1. Lentil turmeric soup. Ingredients: lentils, turmeric, garlic, ginger, carrots, black pepper, olive oil. Why it works: turmeric plus black pepper equals enhanced curcumin absorption anti-inflammatory power duo 2. Lentil salad with kale and lemon ingredients: cooked lentils, chopped kale, red onion, olive oil, lemon juice. Why it works: kale brings vitamin K. Lemon enhances iron absorption. Third, lentil wraps with tahini sauce. Spread mashed lentils on whole grain tortillas. Add shredded veggies. Top with tahini. Why it works: tahini brings calcium and healthy fats. Lentils add fiber and satiety. Food is fuel, but also medicine. It's time we stop thinking of food as just fuel. It's more than calories. It's chemistry. Every bite you take creates a biological response: inflammatory or anti-inflammatory, healing or harming. With lentils, you're choosing healing every single time. I often tell my patients, you don't need a new diet, you need a new habit. Start small. Add lentils to soup. Make 1 lentil-based dinner per week. Replace meat in 1 meal with lentils. Over time, your taste buds adjust. Your gut thanks you, and your joints start to whisper instead of scream. Lentils are the beginning, but they're not the whole picture. Up next, a protein you probably associate with salads and hummus, but one that's secretly packed with polyphenols, collagen-supporting nutrients, and a shocking ability to regulate immune function. It's time to meet the second anti-inflammatory powerhouse, chickpeas, the joint's secret bodyguard. Part 3. Chickpeas, the joint's secret bodyguard. Let me ask you a question. When you think of arthritis relief, do you picture a can of chickpeas? Probably not. But here's the truth. These humble little legumes, often overlooked as just salad toppings or hummus ingredients, are a nutritional powerhouse for inflamed joints. In fact, if lentils are the silent warriors of anti-inflammatory nutrition, chickpeas are the shield, the everyday defense your joints never knew they needed. Let's break it down. Protein chickpeas contain about 15 grams of plant-based protein per cup, making them a rich, filling source of energy without the side effects of red meat. What makes this protein so special? Because it's paired with anti-inflammatory fiber, antioxidants, and zero cholesterol. More protein, more muscle retention. More muscle, more joint support. More joint support, less daily pain, polyphenols. Nature's anti-inflammatory agents. Now let's talk science. Chickpeas are rich in polyphenols, plant compounds with powerful antioxidant properties. They actively combat oxidative stress, which is a major contributor to joint degeneration over time. Think of oxidative stress like rust on metal. It wears down your tissues slowly but surely. But polyphenols, they scrub the rust away, neutralizing the molecules, called free radicals, that cause long-term damage. In a 2021 study published in Nutrients, participants who consumed polyphenol-rich legumes like chickpeas showed measurable reductions in joint pain scores, inflammatory cytokines, fatigue related to arthritis flare-ups, vitamin C. The collagen connector. Collagen is the glue that holds your joints together. Without it, the cartilage between bones wears thin. You get that painful grinding sensation. And to make collagen, your body needs vitamin C. Chickpeas deliver it. Plus, they pair beautifully with vitamin C-rich foods like lemon juice or bell peppers, enhancing absorption. Magnesium. The muscle soother, like lentils, chickpeas are an excellent source of magnesium. This mineral calms nerves, releases tension, and improves bone mineral density. And let's not forget, tight muscles equals strained joints. Relaxed muscles equals joints can finally breathe. Fiber, the inflammation buffer. Now let's revisit a hero we talked about earlier. Fiber. High-fiber diets are associated with lower CRP levels, C-reactive protein. That's the marker doctors use to check how inflamed your body is. And chickpeas? They're loaded with both soluble and insoluble fiber, which support the gut microbiome, balance blood sugar, slow fat absorption, feed good bacteria. In short, they make your internal environment less inflammatory by design. Meet Joan, a 68-year-old retired school teacher from California. She loved gardening, but her arthritis made it impossible to hold pruning shears or twist a hose nozzle. She felt her independence slipping. After years of medications, a nutritionist introduced her to the Mediterranean diet, centered around legumes, olive oil, fish, and greens. Joan started making homemade hummus, chickpeas, garlic, olive oil, lemon, and tahini. 3 tablespoons a day. Within 8 weeks, her morning stiffness went from 90 minutes to under 20. She now tends her roses every morning. How to eat chickpeas. The best part about chickpeas, they're versatile. Here are 6 delicious ways to get them into your life. No stress, no boredom. 1. Chickpea avocado salad. Mash chickpeas with diced avocado, lime juice, red onion, and cilantro. Add to a bed of spinach. Benefits. Avocado equals healthy fats. Lime equals vitamin C. Chickpeas equals fiber and protein. Tofu miso soup, soft tofu cubes, seaweed, miso paste, scallions. Add shiitake mushrooms or soba noodles for extra power. Hydrating, joint-soothing, probiotic-friendly 4. Tofu veggie wraps, pan-sear tofu strips with paprika and black pepper wrap in lettuce or rice paper with avocado and shredded carrots. Dip in tahini or peanut sauce. A great anti-inflammatory lunch option 5. Tofu chocolate pudding, blend silken tofu with cocoa powder, maple syrup, and vanilla chill for 2 hours. Dessert that heals instead of hurts. Tofu shopping tips. Look for organic and non-GMO. Most store brands already are. Choose extra firm tofu for stir-fries or grilling. Use silken tofu for blending into smoothies, sauces, desserts. Buy calcium set tofu for maximum bone support. Check ingredient label for calcium sulfate. How often should you eat tofu? If you're comfortable with soy and have no allergies, 2 to 4 servings per week is a great target. Try pairing tofu with turmeric, anti-inflammatory, leafy greens, calcium plus vitamin K, brown rice or quinoa, fiber plus magnesium. This combination gives your joints the nutritional triangle they crave: anti-inflammation, bone protection, cartilage support. One more thought. Food is information. Food doesn't just fuel you, it informs your body. Tofu tells your cells, build, repair, calm down, restore balance. And it does so quietly. No flashy marketing, no gimmicks, just science-backed healing. So now we've explored lentils, the muscle-repairing, anti-swelling ally chickpeas, the antioxidant-rich immune balancer tofu, the complete calming, bone-building powerhouse. But how do you put it all together? In the next section, I'll show you exactly how to combine these 3 superfoods into a simple, repeatable 7-day meal strategy. One that fits your life, heals your joints, and keeps you in control. Part 4. Tofu, the quiet strength you never saw coming. Tofu. Just the word alone sparks mixed reactions. Some think of it as bland, others see it as health food for vegetarians, and many simply don't know what to do with it. But what if I told you this soft, white block, made from simple soybeans, might just be one of the most powerful allies your joints could ever ask for? Because tofu isn't just a meat substitute. It's a complete, nutrient-dense, anti-inflammatory powerhouse, especially for people living with arthritis. Why tofu deserves your attention? Let's start with the basics. Tofu is made from soybeans, one of the few complete plant proteins. That means it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body can't make on its own. Why does that matter? Because amino acids aren't just for muscle. They're the raw materials for collagen production, cartilage repair, immune cell regulation. Especially as we age, and especially when joints are damaged, our body depends on high-quality proteins to rebuild, restore, and regulate. Let's compare. A 3-ounce steak? Yes, it has protein, but also saturated fat, inflammatory compounds, 0 fiber. A half cup of firm tofu? 10 grams of complete protein. No cholesterol, plant estrogens, we'll get to that. And a surprisingly powerful anti-inflammatory profile. What you're getting with tofu isn't just less harmful, it's actively healing. Most people think of omega-3s and picture fish, salmon, sardines, tuna. But what about those who avoid seafood? Tofu, and soybeans in general, contain ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 that your body partially converts to EPA and DHA. These omega-3s reduce pro-inflammatory eicosanoids, lower IL-6 and TNF-alpha, key markers in arthritis, improve joint lubrication and flexibility. In one 2022 meta-analysis from Rheumatology International, omega-3 supplementation led to reduced joint tenderness, improved grip strength, better patient-reported pain scores. Tofu offers a gentle, plant-based way to bring those benefits into your daily meals, without pills, without fish. Calcium plus vitamin D dash, a bone-saving combo dash dash. Let's not forget your bones, because arthritis doesn't just affect cartilage. It places stress on your entire skeletal system. Strong bones reduce pressure on joints. Stable bones prevent deformities and reduce risk of fractures. And tofu, especially the kind made with calcium sulfate, check the label, is a fantastic dairy-free calcium source. Pair that with fortified brands containing vitamin D, and you have a 1-2 punch. Calcium builds bone density, vitamin D helps absorb it. Together, they strengthen the frame your joints rely on. This is especially important for postmenopausal women or seniors who've reduced dairy due to inflammation or intolerance. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Tofu contains isoflavones, natural plant compounds that mimic estrogen slightly in the body. This freaks some people out, but here's the truth. In moderate dietary amounts, isoflavones can reduce joint inflammation, improve bone retention, and ease rheumatoid arthritis symptoms. In fact, in Japan and Korea, where tofu is eaten regularly, rates of rheumatoid arthritis are significantly lower than in Western countries. A 2020 study in the Journal of Inflammation Research found people who consumed soy 4 to 6 times a week had lower levels of autoimmune antibodies. Their flare-up frequency was reduced by nearly 40%. Isoflavones don't replace hormones. They modulate inflammatory responses linked to hormone imbalance, especially helpful during menopause, when arthritis rates spike in women. Let me tell you about Jorge. He was a 66-year-old former chef from New York. Years of standing, lifting, chopping. Arthritis had crept into his knees and wrists. When his daughter suggested tofu, he scoffed. "That's not real food," he said, but he gave it a shot. He started slow. Tofu stir-fry with garlic and ginger, then tofu scrambled with turmeric, then silken tofu blended into smoothies. 2 months in, Jorge was surprised. He could kneel longer, stand without flinching. His wrists didn't burn during prep. He told me, "I didn't expect it to taste good, and I definitely didn't expect it to help. But now I get it. It's not about what it looks like. It's what it does to your body." How to cook tofu. If you've tried tofu before and didn't like it, chances are it wasn't cooked right. Tofu absorbs flavor like a sponge. That's its superpower. Here's how to make it work for you. 1. Crispy garlic tofu. Press extra firm tofu for 20 minutes. Cut into cubes, marinate in tamari, garlic, ginger, sesame oil. Bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or pan fry until golden. Great, protein-rich topping for rice bowls or salads too. Silken tofu smoothie blend. Silken tofu with banana, spinach, almond milk, and berries. Add cinnamon and flaxseed. Creamy, satisfying breakfast with fiber plus protein plus antioxidants. Chickpea coconut curry. Simmer chickpeas with turmeric, ginger, garlic, coconut milk, and kale. Serve with brown rice. Benefits. Turmeric is anti-inflammatory. Coconut milk contains lauric acid, immune boosting. 3. Mediterranean chickpea wraps. Wrap roasted chickpeas, cucumber, tomato, and hummus in whole grain pita. Top with olive oil and lemon. Mediterranean-style meals have been shown to reduce arthritis flares by 60% in one NIH study. 4. Chickpea cookies or blondies. Blend canned chickpeas with peanut butter, vanilla, and dark chocolate chips. Bake like cookies. A great treat for those managing sugar. Fiber blunts the spike. 5. Moroccan chickpea stew. Simmer chickpeas with carrots, cumin, cinnamon, and tomato paste. Aromatic spices like cumin and cinnamon are anti-inflammatory too. 6. Simple roasted chickpeas. Toss with olive oil, paprika, and garlic powder. Roast at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. Crunchy snack that beats chips any day. Buying tips canned is totally fine. Just rinse well to reduce sodium. Dried is cheaper in bulk and great for slow cookers. Chickpea flour, aka graham flour, is a gluten-free baking substitute. Hummus. Look for low-oil, low-sodium versions or make your own. Emerging research shows that legumes like chickpeas modulate immune response, especially in autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis. They help balance T-cell activity, the immune cells responsible for flare-ups, and increase regulatory cytokines that calm inflammation down. It's not just about pain, it's about regulation, stabilization, and healing from within. One meal with chickpeas won't change your life, but regular, consistent inclusion can. Try them 3 to 5 times per week. Experiment with different formats: salty, spicy, creamy, sweet. Track how you feel after 2 to 4 weeks. Often, my patients report less stiffness, fewer flare-ups, better digestion, more stable energy levels. Lentils gave us muscle repair. Chickpeas gave us immunity and stability. But what if there was a complete plant protein that also brought omega-3 fatty acids, calcium, vitamin D, hormone-balancing compounds, and even helped rebuild cartilage? You might be surprised to learn it's tofu. Yes, tofu. In the next section, we'll explore why tofu isn't just a meat alternative. It's a hidden weapon against inflammation. Part 5. The 7-Day Anti-Arthritis Meal Strategy. Each day includes checkmark 1 plant-based protein checkmark, 1 anti-inflammatory spice checkmark, 1 vitamin C or magnesium booster, 1 gut-friendly ingredient, 1 easy cooking tip. Let's dive in. Day 1. The Comfort Start. Featured protein: lentils meal, lentil carrot ginger soup. Spice: fresh ginger and turmeric pair, with kale, plus olive oil, plus lemon, vitamin C booster. Gut support: garlic and rusix, fermented pickles, natural probiotics. Why it works: turmeric, plus. Black pepper enhances curcumin absorption. Ginger soothes the gut and joints. Carrots add beta-carotene, which aids immune regulation. Tip: make a double batch and freeze leftovers. Great for cold mornings or post-workout dinners. Day 2. Power on a plate. Featured protein: chickpeas meal, Mediterranean chickpea bowl, roasted chickpeas, quinoa, cucumber, tomato, red onion, tahini dressing spice, za'atar or cumin boost, avocado slices, vitamin E plus healthy fat. Gut support: red onion, prebiotics. Why it works: balanced macros, rich in fiber, loaded with polyphenols and vitamin C. Avocado boosts nutrient absorption. Tip: toss in extra herbs like parsley or dill to boost anti-inflammatory effects. Day 3. Smooth and simple. Featured protein: silken tofu meal, green tofu smoothie, tofu, spinach, blueberries, almond butter, flaxseed, cinnamon spice. Cinnamon, blood sugar control. Boost: berries, polyphenols plus vitamin C. Gut support: flaxseed, fiber plus omega-3. Why it works: easy on the joints breakfast with 20 grams plus protein and deep cellular antioxidants. Tip: freeze spinach and berries for convenience. No morning prep needed. Day 4. Curry for the win. Featured protein: chickpeas meal, chickpea coconut curry, chickpeas coconut milk, ginger, garlic, turmeric, cauliflower, plus greens. Spice: turmeric boost, lime juice, vitamin C. Gut support, cooked onion plus fiber from veggies, why it works. Rich, creamy comfort with immune-boosting spice blend. Healthy fats improve joint lubrication. Tip: serve with brown rice or wild rice for extra magnesium and satiety. Day 5, wrap it up, featured protein, tofu meal, spicy tofu lettuce wraps, crumbled tofu sautéed with ginger, chili, soy sauce, lettuce wraps, plus shredded carrot, plus cucumber spice, chili plus garlic, boost shredded bell pepper, vitamin C, gut support, rice vinegar plus ginger equals digestion aid. Why it works: raw veggies add crunch and enzyme-rich freshness. Tofu takes on any flavor, don't be afraid to go bold. Tip: use extra firm tofu and press before cooking for crispier texture. Day 6, weekend nourish bowl, featured protein, lentils meal, warm lentil, plus roasted veggie bowl, lentils, sweet potato, roasted Brussels sprouts, tahini drizzle spice, smoked paprika. Boost, arugula, anti-inflammatory greens. Gut support, roasted garlic cloves. Why it works: sweet potatoes, amrocage, beta-carotene. Roasted garlic equals natural anti-inflammatory. Tip: roast a large tray of mixed veggies for leftovers. Day 7, a soft landing, featured protein, tofu meal, miso tofu soup. Buckwheat noodles, tofu miso shiitake mushrooms, bok choy spice, miso fermented. Boost, scallions plus lemon zest. Gut support, fermented miso plus mushroom beta-glucans, why it works. Hydrating, mineral-rich, and soothing. Perfect for winding down or meal prep day. Tip: add a soft boiled egg for extra protein and collagen. Part 7, the final lesson. Take back control, one bite at a time. You've made it this far. That alone says something powerful about you. You're not just hoping for relief. You're not waiting for someone else to fix it. You're here, searching, learning, taking back control. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from this journey, it's this: your fork is stronger than you think. In a world that profits off pain, choosing food as medicine is an act of rebellion, an act of hope, an act of healing. So here's to you, to your joints, your joy, your journey, and to lentils, chickpeas, and tofu. The 3 humble heroes that just might help you move again, smile again, and live again. Thank you for watching.